We have the natural resources. You know, let's look at energy. Why is it that we have such a problem with oil? Because we've become too dependent on it. You know, in the 1970s, one of the first houses I built, we used geothermal. In the 80s, we built a house with water source heat pump. Problem is that it was very expensive technology. It's not new technology by any means. It's old technology. But while we were doing that, the government was saying, well, we'll give you a credit if you buy a wood stove. Well, how about if I use water source heat pump? It's cheap. We'll give you a credit if you put solar panels up for your hot water. But all of us in the building industry knew that didn't work. Those solar panels were not worth the money. But because the government would give you a credit, everybody was throwing them up. Now, how many of them do you see on top of houses today? Because they didn't work. But somebody went in there. Now, if we said to everybody, we the government, we the state of New Hampshire, we the federal government are going to be the first purchasers of all new alternative technology and methods, then there'll be a whole lot of new people coming out of their garages with all these ideas that actually work. Now, I'll tell you, in the state of New Hampshire, we just passed a bill, well, it's going to the floor this week, out of transportation that says that the state of New Hampshire will buy biodiesel for all its trucks. We're going to convert one of our tanks to biodiesel. So all that fat that we throw away from the fryolators in the state of New Hampshire, we're going to start picking it up. We're going to mix it with diesel fuel. We're going to be the purchaser. You know why? Because nobody wants to get into the business of mixing it and selling it because there isn't a big enough market. We use 2.2 million gallons just in DOT of diesel fuel. So we now become a buyer or a purchaser of $2.2 million. Now everybody's looking for permits to start being in business in the state of New Hampshire. They suddenly have a customer. Now, once that happens, they'll be able to supply it to everybody out of gas stations. Right now, if you're a biodiesel person, I think there's one station in the Keene area. There's nothing in the major cities that I'm aware of. Maybe there is one, but I'm not aware of it. Once we make the government purchase it, and again, we're only doing it to lessen our reliance on foreign oil. And there's a whole lot of other ways to do that. The gentleman behind the camera built a motor for me for my Lincoln Town Car, which was in 1990, years ago, that when he was done, got 27 miles to the gallon. Okay? The technology is available if somebody wants to use it. Why don't they use it? Well, because the technology was expensive. The only reason why we could do it was because it was an old car. Most everything came free except for the expensive parts. So we put on all kinds of stuff, but he can tell you that later. But it's there. But you have to create a market before we're going to use it. And you can't go into business unless you have clients or customers. So I can keep going on and on, you know. So.